Do you or do you not talk to Mr. Owens and stuff? Do you not talk to Mr.
I text him, I don't talk to him.
Oh,
I'm not gonna. He don't like phone calls like I don't like phone calls.
Oh, so you just can't. Oh.
Welcome.
Oh yeah, we're gonna walk down through that cabin. Oh, good. We're gonna walk down through that cabin. Oh.
They left in the middle of a cold night in 1984, but the Colts are back, and we're underway in Baltimore. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ballgame. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
How did he stay on his feet? He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10, down at the 33. Jackson, options out left. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down.
And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Colts D stick up fourth.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out.
And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo and their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, 6th-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet him before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
Taken down back in his own of his 340-pound glory gets the sack.
Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Now Minshew. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th downs. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Fielded right around his own 43. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play. This first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession.
as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Throwing is Jackson. That one into the hands of Beckham downfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Despite writing it down in my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Touchdown! Lamar Beckham from 17 yards out. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Tucker now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's OBJ, Odell Beckham, who ends it with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Dallas Flowers going to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And it's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Out to it. Now Minshew has it knocked out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On second down, here's the option.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2, because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now Jackson. That is caught. Touchdown.
Rashad Bateman on the touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens continue to pull away here in this first half. But it's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And the Colts coming out now. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not.
And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 39 yards. And the Ravens open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
So I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Gardner Minshew and the offense back onto the field. He's been picked off twice in this ball game already, and they'll try to sort things out here as they begin with the first down. They'll run with Tim and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Well, one of the linebackers has got it. Following the fumble recovery, Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Jackson. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
And motioning left, that's Pittman. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead it gives it Taylor. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised him a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Take it right around the 44.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Do whatever you want to do with it.
In extra halftime. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. The Ravens were led in that first half by who else? The former MVP Lamar Jackson. He was nothing short of amazing, throwing 4 touchdown passes to help push his guys out to a sizable halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. On the return, here's Dallas Flowers. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, Minshew to throw. Eluding the pressure. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Credit that sack to Travis Jones. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now 3rd down and very long. Minshew sets to throw. Justin Madubuike able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. He'll take it at the 42. Have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
On the return, it's Flowers.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the Colts getting ready to go.
But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Here's Minshew. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them. And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Return of 53 yards. And the Ravens just continue to roll.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2.
They'll look to throw. It's complete. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
On the return, it's Flowers. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Indy set to go on offense once more. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. Out of the gun is Minshew. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought he was going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. They'll look to set up his blockers. And there he goes again. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He's on his way. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. That complete to Downs. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other. Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And that's taken at his own 42. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. And this has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 120 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He had to run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps, because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out. Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven. It's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up as safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he'll get it down on the play. They'll raise the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Right side, there's Likely with it. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 25 yards that time.
There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They go play action now. Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Colts, nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it.
And able to get this out to the 25.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and share.